My name is Tony Warner from Black History Walks. We organise walks, talks and films on Black history each month all year long. But today we're in Notting Hill to speak about the amazing Claudia Jones. You can find a really famous image of Claudia Jones in the National Portrait Gallery, where she's sitting at her desk with a typewriter editing the West Indian Gazette, which is one of the first black newspapers in this country. Claudia Jones spends the first 8 years of her life in Trinidad, and then she moves to America. From the time she becomes a young lady, she gets involved in civil rights activism, in particular when it comes to housing. In fact, she's so good at organizing in America, she's arrested numerous times and spends time in prison as well. So she's then deported to this country, where she gets involved in activism here as well. So in 1958, there are a number of racial attacks against the black community. The black community fights back, and those actions are then described as rioting by the mainstream press. But the fact is that on a regular basis, you'd have groups of white people who would drive into Notting Hill to attack black people, to firebomb their homes, and to beat up black people. There was a resistance against that, termed as the Notting Hill Riots. So she comes up with the idea of a carnival. And of course, carnival is normally held in the Caribbean in February. So she has her carnival at the end of January in 1959 as a direct result of the riots of '58. In January, it's not going to be outdoors. It has to be indoors. So her carnival, the first carnival she organizes, takes place inside the King's Cross St. Pancras Town Hall. It has like a fashion show, a beauty show, and it's used to kind of bring people together and showcase African Caribbean history and culture. So it's a big hit. It carries on until she dies in 1964 and actually moves around the country. So her carnival is pioneering. It was as a direct response to the riots. It involved a lot of high-profile black people, and it was a real kind of benchmark for black British history. So we're in the Gardens of the Tabernacle. It was an old abandoned church. It was renovated by the black community and then becomes a center for carnival activities. It's where young steel bands would come to perform and to rehearse. And it also was used as a meeting place for the organization of carnival. Claudia Jones died aged 49 years old, a fairly young age to die at. But within her short life, she achieved a massive amount. To give an example of her level of achievement, she worked with people like Paul Robeson, people like Amy Ashwood Garvey, wife of Marcus Garvey. She also met Martin Luther King. So she was such a high profile that when Luther King came to the UK in '64, he actually chose to spend time and meet with her because he could see she was doing something similar to what he was doing in England that he was doing in America. And other than that, it's just the idea that she was able to achieve so much with the West Indian Gazette and her organizing skills, and that helps to inspire the next generation in 2021.